I once sought power. The power to defeat my foes and smite who I found wicked. The power to defend a false idol. In this search for power, I lost a part of myself, a piece I did not know that I could lose. Empathy left me. I was a shell of myself, a living Triton blade. I am no longer a blade that brings pain. I am a shield that protects. In the silence of your deepest struggles, in the moments when life feels empty, when the future seems to be a distant haze, remember this: you are alive. In the quiet, listen to your heartbeat, the rhythm of your breath. These are not just signs of life, they are proof of your true potential. I, Proximus, once stood where you stand right now, at the fork of two paths, amidst the chaos of this world, but within me burned a great fire to become more, to rise above the ordinary. Every one of you carries the potential to improve, to grow, to transform yourself into something greater. You are not bound by your past, by your failures, or the expectations of others. You are bound only by the limits you set upon yourself to evolve and become greater, to become a guardian of what you cherish. A guardian does not become strong by shunning their weaknesses. They become strong by facing them, by acknowledging them, and then by overcoming their weaknesses. So rise. Rise not just as a warrior. Rise not just as a guardian. Rise as a beacon of growth, as a symbol to Domaris of what it truly means to be alive, together, united. The path to becoming your own god is before you. Will you take the first step? Inheid von Vugde.
Hey! Hi! I don't have time for this. No offense, very busy. Hand me that red flask. The one on the left. Your other left. Oh, it's Winnie, sea scavenger extraordinaire. Shouldn't she be scavenging? Yes, I should. But no, there's things out there. Star things. Powerful things. World-changing things that need to be investigated. There's something... Jeffrey, don't eat that. Something I know I knew. There's so much I don't remember. Don't know. I have to relearn it. But how? So, I'm here, experimenting. Trying not to set the ship on fire. I don't even know what I'm looking for, exactly. Can a star be created? Can you get close to making a star? How do you reverse engineer the biggest magical object you've ever come across when you don't even have it anymore? See, I'm really good at the questions, but all I'm finding so far are more of them and no answers. Well, and a potion that makes you, really strong, but that's not what I wanted. Hey, do you... No, Jeffrey, don't eat that!
The last couple years have been eventful, to say the least. From small town thief to semi-reputable and known pirate feels like a big jump, but what's a pirate but a wet thief anyway? Sometimes I wonder if becoming a pirate was the right choice. That, if I didn't sail to the far frozen north, would I still be on Soteria? Would I have found something else to occupy my time? Would I have landed amongst the stars like I have now? Or would I have been forced to serve the Nerean Empire until my dying breath when they tore core to shreds? Out on the sea and in the midst of building a new home and life, my heart is torn between vengeance for what was taken from me and gazing forward towards a new horizon. Sailing with new friends and allies in search for a solution to the plague of the Empire amongst the waves. Is collecting the rings the correct choice? Should this source of elder power be brought into existence? Sure, it could be used to protect Ascension Isle, but it could easily be turned into a source of destruction, and it doesn't sit well with me. Our choices are slim as the Empire continues its siege upon the seas. But I'm not in the habit of doing nothing. I only hope that this is the right choice.
If freedom was what I was searching for, I found it in the crumbled remains of a statue. I found it in the sails of a stolen warship. I found it in a raging storm. I found it in a spark. Or flame, rather. I might have lost parts of me with broken packs, but I have found so much more. I have found friends and family. I have found heartbreak and love. I have found power. But most importantly, I have found myself. And now I can start to right my wrongs, one broken curse at a time. And if you're listening, and I know you are, I will rip you down in pieces, just like I did to Yulu. One tiny piece at a time. I don't care how much power you think you have, but it is only as much as others give you. And storms will always have more. I promise you this. You have scorned the wrong siren, cursed fiend. For I am the slayer of gods. I am the breaker of chains. I am the redeemer queen of storms. I am Scarlett's shores.
I don't think anyone would argue with me if I said living in the city of Dis was not for the faint of heart. The thing that might surprise you is if I said returning to the material plane after an extended residency there isn't either. How do you return to a world that you have forgotten, one that you tried to forget? So much has changed, and yet so much remains the same. I tried to head home with the hope that something familiar could set a new baseline, a new starting point. I didn't get very far, now did I? I know a sign when I see one, and while I may have been disconnected from Avandra for so long, I have never forgotten how clearly she speaks. Maybe this is simply the path she would have intended for me on my return regardless. Or maybe it's because they are the reason I can hear her again. It doesn't matter. Whatever this is, it's important. I just pray this one turns out differently.
Waves crash on the beach of an endless sea. In them you hear a voice, a beckoning lure you have heard so many times before. It is the song of the horizon. She calls to you. She sings of endless wonders and untold horrors, of golden promises and dire warnings, and you know her song. It has always been there. Listen, can you hear it? The wind is in your favor, the tide is rising, the sea is yours for the taking, and your ship awaits. Fair winds and following seas, brave mariner. May fortune find you when the horizon calls. I'm Derek Swart, I see him pronouns. Welcome to Horizon's Call, a very special episode of Horizon's Call, as we are joined by a very special, not guest, but full member of the Horizon's Call crew, cast. My cat's just going to knock things over. I live in hell. Speaking of hell, that's where she resided for quite some time. We're going to go ahead and go around, have these lovely people introduce themselves and say more about them. Before that, I do want to say that this is a Sword and Key production. You can find all of Sword and Key stuff at beacons.ai/Sword and Key. You can find links to join our Discord. You can find links to this very Twitch where you are watching this live, unless you're watching this later on YouTube. If you are watching on Twitch, give us a follow. We recently just hit 1,000 members, and hey, if we reach that 2,000, 5,000, I'll do another $150 giveaway, or maybe even more. I don't know. We'll see where I'm sitting financially at the time. But thank you to everyone who has followed us so far. Thank you to everyone who's been a wonderful community member. And yeah, we'd love to have you around. If you haven't taken that dive just yet, give it a chance. I know Discord servers are a lot sometimes, but ours is a fun place to hang out. I'm a little biased, but still. Other links that you can find on our beacons.ai/sword and key, are links to some of our affiliates. Affiliates like Long Dog Dice, which our new cast member Jenn is kind of Long Dog Dice. Like she is that. It is her. They are the same. Long Dog Dice, fantastic dice company. Beautiful sets of dice. You're guaranteed to find something to love, and you can use code Sword and Key for 10% off your first purchase. We are also affiliates with Eldritch Foundry. If you're looking for custom minis, you can use code Sword and Key for 10% off your first purchase there. And also, we are affiliates with Hit Point Press, makers of Humblewood, Islands of St. Una, animated spell cards, tons of stuff. Guaranteed to find something that you like there. So use our custom link if you're heading that way. We also use Pally for this particular game. We have a number of charities we support for a number of other games, just in general throughout the year. But because this is a long-term game, and because Sword and Key does not break even financially with all of our licenses and everything, we try to use Pally to evenly distribute anything that you are generous and able enough to tip our cast and crew, all of whom are one and the same people, cast and crew. So if you are feeling able and generous and want to toss us a few bucks, it's always appreciated. Like I said, it gets evenly distributed and can impact our game. You can give crits advantages, you can give complications called black spots, and in the near future here, you could maybe even name a ship. I'm still on the fence a little bit about that one, because I do know that my world will be quickly filled with Bodie McBoat faces. So I will say that there's a little asterisk on the end of that with approval, because also I'm not going to put anything overly inappropriate on my show, our show. So that's it for me. Let's go ahead and go around. Mare, tell us more about your lovely self.
Hi, I'm Mare. I use they, she pronouns, and I play Acacia, who uses she, her pronouns, who is your centaur, soul knife rogue star druid who is about to revisit her season 2 self and personality.
Okay. Yeah, I see where you're going with that. Next up
She
we have
Angie.
Mm-hmm. Eva?
Hi.
Can you hear me?
I can now. I didn't hear you if you
Okay.
just said my name though.
Okay.
This is going great. I'm doing well. Hi. Hello. I'm Eva. My pronouns are she, her, and today I am playing your alchemical artificer. A little bit of a bard sometimes. Winnie, also she, her. And I think, yeah, she's just sort of disassociating at the moment, so she's okay. Just shove it down. It's fine.
Very healthy. I think we've established psychology doesn't exist in this world just yet, which explains a lot of its problems. Next up we have Mikyl.
Hi, fam. I'm Mikyl, he, him pronouns. I am playing Proximus with he, him pronouns also. Your Triton Shadow Sorcerer, Oath of the Guardian Paladin.
And a special thank you to Mikyl, as always, for the character art that you saw in our intro on the screen right now, as well as in all of our promotional materials. Mykyl's absolutely incredible. Could not appreciate him more for the incredible just talent, skill, ability that he brings to this amazing artwork. Next up, we have Kaila.
Hi, hello, my name's Kaila. I use she, her pronouns. I play your Siren Storm Sorcerer Scarlett Shores, who also uses she, her pronouns, and had her wedding day ruined.
Still got married. Her husband survived.
Barely.
I don't know, maybe she should be thankful for what she has. I don't know.
He barely survives every encounter, so really it's just another day for him.
No, that's again not healthy talk. And to come full circle, it's almost as if we have made a sort of ring shape. Not that this game particularly focuses on rings or anything. We have, and no longer Kaila being last but not least, Jenn. Welcome. It's so great to have you.
I'm so excited to be here. It's gonna be great. Hi. I'm Jenn. I was here a bit ago and I was supposed to leave, and now I'm back. And I'm Jazz, and I am playing your Tiefling Tempest Cleric who doesn't know that the energy she's about to walk into. So it's gonna be fine.
It might be. We'll see. I never want to assume anything with this group.
It's gonna be great.
Please go and follow all these people on their social medias. We do have our plugs at the end, but this is always a great opportunity that if you're going to go ahead and give us a Sword and Key a follow, you can check out our socials. You can check out the socials of everybody else here as well. Okay, we have a recap. So, Kaila, the floor is yours. Take it away when you're ready.
Yeah, I love doing recaps when we've spent the entire session in combat because it makes my job so much easier. At the top of the session, last session, we each had a round prior to the Nightmare Beast getting to us where everyone was in a frenzy at first until Scarlett put her captain pants on and made everyone fall in line into the crew-like order that they are. Thankfully, we didn't get a whole lot of people out of the town square, but we did get some out. It's fine. It's fine when the two Nightmare Beasts show up and cut off both exits to your town square. It's always a great time. Chaos surely ensued from there with full-blown combat and realizing that these things are sons of bitches and super shitty to take down. But I think that might have been the point. Eventually, one goes down. One gets turned into a sloth by Acacia, but not before one of them almost decimates Marcus on his wedding day. Almost rip him, I guess. After turning into a sloth, when he was able to capture it into her new fancy little iron flask, unfortunately, it turned back into a nightmare beast, and well, it's getting into the flask. Beyond that, we realized that there are a lot of injuries. There are some casualties of friends and folks who are in the town. Connery is severely wounded, but more importantly, Mama Maddie is unfortunately not. Did she officially pass last? Okay. I would say I know she was getting there, but I didn't know if she had officially passed on or not. And in the midst of all of that, there was another explosion. More chaos, not another explosion. At Rollins Keep, which is great, fine, except not fine at all. Winnie and Proximus went that way to do with that. And Roland had black eyes and a headache, and there were a lot of dead bodies around. Can't wait to hear more about that. Oh, he also apparently helped create these nightmare beasts, so he's got that going for him. Yeah, there's a lot of unanswered questions going into today. So.
Yeah. Okay. Well, before we get to any of those questions, I want to answer another question, which is when Kallista left, you all had spent what felt like days, maybe even almost even a week, in the hells with just the amount of exhaustion and you know the strain of being in hell. But on the material plane, only spent seconds, if even that. When Kallista left, you all returned to the material plane to find that a little bit of time had passed, at least for her. And she had already made it to a ship, headed its way northwest, and supposedly that was the last you ever saw of her. So, Jenn, where would Kallista have been heading as she left Phoenix Landing?
For lack of any other idea of where to go, heading home to New Cavalon would have been probably where, at least the direction she started heading. Not necessarily committed to making it all of the way there, but it being, she doesn't know exactly how long it has been or what the current state of the world is, and going somewhere that at least she knew what it was supposed to be would be a good starting point.
Okay. You're able to catch a ship. The New Cavalon has sent a few ships back and forth to Phoenix Landing. Phoenix Landing has tried to establish some trade, especially through Hillholm as this kind of, middleman sort of port. You don't have to go all the way. You can send some of your goods here, drop them off. We'll give you a slightly better rate. So that seems to have worked out decently well so far, and seems to have worked out for you as well, as you've been able to catch a ride home, seemingly. You are able to catch a ride. Let's see. I thought I had ship names here. Jenn, would you like to name this ship?
No.
Okay, that's fair. Then barring that this ship might show up again, I'm going to hold off just a real quick second until I can find my list of ship names. But in the meantime, you were aboard the ship for a little bit of time. Is there anything you'd be occupying yourself with? You're just, passenger. They've offloaded all of their goods. Their sailors are just trying to head home. These sailors are wearing traditional whites and blues. Cavalon's colors are more of teal. They have a teal, white, and gold kind of imagery going for them. A lot of griffin imagery as well. That's pretty central to Cavalonian culture. Anything you'd be busying yourself with on the ship?
She's going to do as much kind of eavesdropping, just kind of on casual conversations as she can to start trying to figure out what things are and when things are, because she can't really ask someone what the date is, because at best they're going to give her the number or the day of the week. If she asks what month it is, that's unhinged. If she asks what year it is, they will throw her off the ship. So she's just trying to figure out what all is going on and figure out what are the current events of the world, because she's not necessarily committed to necessarily getting all the way home. And if she hears anything interesting, for maybe that is a direction she should go instead, where she might be able to help do something, whatever. She's kind of keeping an ear out for those kind of things. But she's also spent some time in the Hells, and I think the resting bitch face that kind of gets baked in after that point, so that way people leave you alone, probably mean that maybe people tend to get more quiet when she's closer. So I'm not sure exactly how effective it's going to be, but it's what she's kind of trying to do. And for the time being, not really knowing what the state of everything is, she has something she wants to start doing with her evenings eventually, but it will start chugging through spell slots in order to do that. And she doesn't want to, until she understands exactly how dangerous ocean travel currently is again, she's not doing that stuff yet.
Sure. I'm going to say you were aboard the Ruby Chance, and the way that you've described the way you're picking up information, there seems to be a number of checks we could potentially make this. It seems like you are gathering information as opposed to recalling information, so I don't think it would be history. You could absolutely, resting bitch face, and especially with the interactions you've had in your recent past, gaining information can be more of an intimidating one. So we could say it's an intimidation. We could also say it's a persuasion. Or, you could also use a perception just to listen in on other conversations and see what you can gain from that. If you have any other suggestions, I'm always open to those, but those three feel like the best option. So if you'd like to pick one of those, and let me know what you get.
I'm going to do perception, because I think she's intentionally not interacting as much as she can, just to kind of see what casually people are talking about. That is
dropping some eaves.
Yeah, 27.
Okay, really high. Great. So with the 27, you are able to gain a decent amount of information, just because, sailors are gossips. They have little else to do, whether they're throwing dice or playing cards, or whether they're working. They're always trying to occupy their brains, and typically they're going to occupy their brains by chatting and sharing either personal stories or rumors that they've heard. So as you're just kind of milling about, as you can listen through the walls, you can hear a lot of what's kind of going on in the world. What you're picking up on, and especially when you just overhear the captain writing in his ledger, because he speaks out loud when he writes. He talks out what he writes. You've discovered it's been 15 years since you left the material plane. That probably takes you back a little bit.
Yep.
In those 15 years, go ahead, please.
I was like, I don't know if there was an answer that she was hoping for or would have been good. I think any answer would have been bad. But 15 does not feel super great, especially because for her, she lost track of what would count as like a day cycle while she was down
absolutely.
there. And all she knows is that she did not change that entire time. So it's uncomfortable to be like, I am kind of technically 15 years older. Don't know how to process that.
Yeah. 15 years older, and also not, because time in the hells is weird. It took seconds for your companions to go back and forth, and it almost seems like this weird sort of punishment that the hells have shunted you back out, only for it to not be moments, but for it to be a decade and a half. In that time, you pick up that the seas are not exactly safe. There's a lot of tense kind of energy as the sailors are going about. They worry about, they look to the horizon for pirate ships. They look to the horizon for Imperial ships. Being from New Cavalon, Cavalonians don't have a lot of positive thoughts about the Empire. They were at one time, before the deluge, one of the big forces stopping the Empire from its expansion. And now a lot of other things have happened post-deluge that have weakened them significantly. So now you have this former pride that's still kind of carried, but in the open ocean, a single merchant ship is vulnerable. You don't have these big stretches you're going across, but you also hear about worries about the Leviathan horde and attacks from below, attacks from Krakens, attacks from Sahuagin or Koalinth, or any number of sea creature that will come up in the night and stab you or take you overboard. Rumors of sirens that swim in these waters or near enough to them. Storm giants and stories of magical storms. And a lot of this you're picking up is rumor. Like, even when these sailors are saying this, other sailors are like, oh, I don't believe that. I'd have to see it to believe it. Talk of, ships that have sunk here, ships that have sunk there. But the biggest thing you're picking up is that the Empire has been expanding more and more, trying to assimilate these islands outside of its border and change the map to make the Nerian Empire stretch all the way across, as opposed to having this pretty decent sized pocket in the top right corner of the Damaris map. Other than that, you are picking up on, trade's been half decent. Phoenix Landing that you just left, there's a lot of rumors about this being some sort of, they're all pirates and thieves there, but, they don't kill us, so it's better than some islands that are all pirates and thieves. I would also say the other thing with the 27, you also pick up that another threat is coming from Terraconis, that the Draconic Empire has also been more aggressive lately with some of their expansion. They're being more, like, they're not being overt about it. They're being more subtle about it, but there's definitely rumors of dragons that are attacking ships if you get too close to Terraconis, which also isn't a super new thing, but it seems like the border to that line has gotten a little bit bigger. I think that's what you picked up.
Okay.
So anything before you get to port?
I don't think so. I think this is a lot to process. I think for now she's going, I'll get to port. I'll see what else I can pick up in another port, in another town, hang out at a tavern. And then maybe decide from there if I'm going to keep going home or if I'm going to start heading towards something else.
Okay. Well, then it does take you what is that? It's 10, 20, about 23, maybe 24 days, all in total to reach Doveport, which is in this little sort of inlet or bay or however you want to describe it. This sound right here on Elendar. When the ship docks, the sailors go off. They don't really have anything to trade. This is just a stop to have a little bit of leave, especially since they'll have to go around Elendar, either to the left or the right. They're just outside of Nibirian's Wake, which there's also, I would say, I'll add this with a 27. There's been talk that the great dragon turtle Nibirian, there's supposedly a bounty on his head that's been placed by the Nerian Empire. But you do know that, to get to New Cavalon, it's going to be another, 5, 15, almost 20 days, roughly. So having a little bit of time off the ship, if you can, is always a great thing. And you find yourself going into a tavern called the Blind Watchman. Anything that you'd be wanting to do in town before you even get to the tavern, or anything you'd be wanting to do in the tavern?
I think boy, would she have decided she wanted to do this already. I think one of the things she just want to find a small pouch that literally is like this size that could hold maybe like a single coin. She wants to make sure she has that, and that is something that she's going to keep just tucked right here in like the top part of her cloak for right now, with a coin in it until she's kind of decided what she wants to do about that. But otherwise, she's going to...
Easy enough to find on the ship, for sure.
Yeah. I think she is just going to try to find what looks like a tavern where that most of the sailors would go to, not just from the ship she's been on, but anyone else, and find a spot not in the corner, but close to the corners and walls, because that's where everyone else who's going to be trying to have secret conversations is going to go, and she wants to be near that stuff because that will be the most interesting things to pick up.
Sure. Especially when you're in port, you can see that this is a pretty busy port. Doveport has a bunch of ships that are docked here. It looks like there's a lot of trade. Seagulls squawk above. It's a pretty decent sunny day, and you can see that Doveport kind of goes up as it kind of like, there's almost plateaus where buildings are built into it, getting higher and higher. The buildings getting nicer and nicer as they get away from the ocean. But you do know that Sailor's Tavern is going to be closer to the water, probably a little dingy, maybe even by design. And you can kind of have that smell of low tide and soggy wood as you get closer and closer to the Blind Watchman. And the door swings open with ease. And as it does, you see a whole room turn to look at you. And in this room, you can see a whole bunch of sailors. None of the sailors that you necessarily sailed with. If anything, as you open the door, a couple of the sailors that were on your ship look over your shoulder and walk away to another tavern. As you look inside, there are about 30 sailors all dressed in reds and purples, all with the Nerian symbol emblazoned on their sailor coats. I guess, what would you necessarily call that? Their uniforms.
Mm-hmm.
Either, pinned in the top left where it's holding it in place, or, on their sleeves. They really, really like their symbol. And all these heads turn to look at you, and then they all just look back. They all, the conversation kind of stops as you open the door, and as you stand there for just a moment, they all turn back and continue their conversation. And there absolutely would be a seat in the corner as this group of sailors, this group of Imperials, have occupied the entire length of the bar and kind of the area around it. And you don't really see a lot of anybody else in here. If anything, you would imagine it's going to be tough to get the attention of the bartender, since the Nerians seem to be occupying them full time.
I hate it, but also know that it's going to be more suspicious if I turn around and leave. And in theory, there's nothing about me that should necessarily garner any attention. And this will be a great way to kind of learn some other things that are going on. So I will go up to the bar and wait as long as it takes, and grab a drink, and then set up somewhere. I will pull out like a notebook or something like that, just to look like I'm doing something and not paying attention to anybody. I'm absolutely listening to everything I possibly can.
Okay. Go ahead and give me another perception check, please.
Not as good. 17.
17's still pretty good, though. Let's see here. Okay. Sitting, listening, going full Aragorn in the corner, you can kind of like cut through the cacophony of all these different conversations and pick up on a variety of tidbits here and there. You pick up on that this is a ship that's apparently on a diplomatic mission, is what they're described as. They're heading to Terraconis. They are supposed to be bringing some sort of tribute, some sort of peace treaty sort of deal, but you don't see anybody necessarily that's like overly official with them. So again, kind of rumor, but apparently they've got a decent amount of something in their hold. None of the sailors here are allowed to see it, but they don't mind. They're just they're following the orders as far as that goes. You do hear that there's one soldier who's a little more one sailor who's a little more intoxicated than the others, who's kind of like, he's cutting a little above everybody else with his volume. And he's leaning against the bar going, I wasn't even supposed to be on this fucking ship. I was supposed to be on the Marlin. And the Marlin, you understand, had cut away. And it was on a much more interesting thing. I don't give a fuck about diplomacy or dragons. I mean, you've seen one, you've seen them all, all right? Anyways, I just wanted to go and fuck up those stuck-up bastards. Well, so I hear. It's some sort of Firebird something or other. Phoenix Central. No. Phoenix Ground. No. One of those things. Right next to Hillholm. Bunch of fucking pirates, as I understand it, have held up there, making a big problem here and there, getting for themselves. The Marlin, you understand, was going to go sail there and cause a big to-do. Really, really mess up the town. Seems like they got some sort of information, and my captain comes to me and says, Reginald, you have too big of a mouth. You can't be on this mission. It's too secret. And I don't believe that. I don't believe that one bit. I can close my mouth when I want to, right? He looks around at all the other sailors, and there's like, yeah, sure, Reggie. Anyways, so, I don't know. Wish them the best. Hope they can rough them up real good. Send a message. Yeah, the Empire's not meant to be fucked with. Anyway, next round's on me, am I right? Where's my money? And so you get that from him.
I'm gonna still sit there for a little bit because I don't want to raise any flags that he says a bunch of stuff and I get up and book it. I'll wait for a bit. I will above the table and casually finishing my drink. I'm definitely doing kind of the anxiety leg bounce a little bit. Like, I'm just like, how long is long enough that this doesn't look weird? Okay. And I will finish my drink, and I'm going to exit the bar, go to, I think the one thing I would have probably done during the day is like find an inn to be in so I'm not sleeping on the ship. Wherever it is that I have done that, I'm going to go to that room. And I'm just kind of pacing in circles a little bit, trying to logic my way through, okay, they did mention they were pirates, and Phoenix Landing was in theory pirates, and that's near Hill Home. This sound okay. It might be them. It might be some other people. It might be okay. And why do I even care? I only met them for a little bit, but ooh, I feel bad. And I'm kind of doing this a little bit. And eventually I start thinking about, okay, well, if it was them and it was the Empire, and like this is a lot of people, and if they're sending this many people to that, and they're gonna go fuck up the pirates, I start thinking about this group and the little bit of time we were together in the Hells and how that fight with Longinus went, and thinking about like how much of a damage sponge I was for it and how much damage I did, and like what if we hadn't run into each other, would they have actually been able to do it? Would they have been okay? I feel like they might have actually needed my help. Do they need my help right now? I don't know. And I will sit down, crisscross applesauce, and I'm going to pull out from my bag a small, what looks like a silver like serving dish, just small enough that you could fit like a teapot and 2 little cups on it. Just like a little bit of height to it. And I'm going to put that down on the floor, and I start mumbling to myself and pull out a water skin and very slowly pour some water into it, just enough to cover the entire bottom surface of it. And I take off the remaining cloak pin that I have, because in theory, Proximus has the other one, so that should make this casting of scry work a lot better. And I'm going to place that in this dish and finish casting the ritual for scry to just check on them.
Okay. We said it was about 25 days. I'm going to say, for the sake of this scry, it has been the month. At this point, it's probably evening. You cast scribe. What is the requirements of scribe?
The requirements of scrying. Scroll down to my big beefy spell slots. So I can see and hear a creature that you choose that is on the same plane of existence, hoping they haven't fucked right off again. In theory, the target makes a wisdom saving throw, which is modified based on a variety of things of how well I know them, if I have an item associated with them, so on and so forth. On a successful save, I can't actually look, and I can't try again for 24 hours, but on a failed save, creature creates an invisible, intangible sensor within 10 feet of the target. Oh, you can see invisibility. Okay, this is fine. You can see and hear through the sensor as if you were there. The sensor moves with the target, remaining within 10 feet of it for the duration, and it lasts for 10 minutes, up to 10 minutes.
Okay. So, Proximus, go ahead and roll a wisdom save, please.
Can I choose to fail?
It does say you can't, like, yeah, it says there is a aspect on here that you can choose to fail. I think the way it's technically written, it's you have to know somebody is casting it on you. I personally always play with the idea of if a trusted person cast it, I wouldn't have resisted it. So like,
right.
There's up
but
to you guys.
Devil's advocate, Proximus doesn't necessarily know it's Kallista.
Exactly.
Right,
so
right.
there's a number.
Empire.
There's a number of things here. So
the language says the target doesn't know what it is making the save against, only that it feels uneasy. It's the feeling of being watched.
Oh yeah.
So there's that, but yeah, there is a table of if you're gonna roll for it, what you rolled gets modified by first-hand knowledge or extensive knowledge of the target. I probably don't count as extensive, even though we're married, but but then also like if you've got associated objects, like that changes it by like that removes 4 from whatever you rolled and things like that. So
correct. Yeah.
At a minimum, we're removing 4. Probably can't make the argument for removing 9.
So it was a natural 1 for 12.
Yeah, that does not beat my DC. Thank goodness. So okay.
Once I rolled it, I was like, oh, well.
We're spending a lot of time on a question that does not matter.
I'm just gonna let everybody explain. It's fine.
Perfect.
So, Proximus, what we're going to say is this is aftermath of the battle. Nightmare beasts are dead. You've just had your conversation with Rollin. What would Kallista be seeing and hearing as like you're dealing with that night still?
Definitely, like as we were kind of trying to secure the city, round up all of the survivors, and then the explosion, running to Roland's side, seeing Winnie there, us going through that conversation about the rings. Um, and then after the aftermath of that, leaving, um, you know, going to make sure that Dominaria is okay, that the ship is okay, that, um, all of the crew, see who is left of the crew, and then touch base with Marcus since he's the first mate of the other ship, and try to come up with a solution to what we got going on, and then probably just passing out on the ship, probably on the deck. Would find like a high area to like lay down and just kind of like at a Overwatch, he would just fall asleep in the I can't the crow's nest.
So definitely witnessing like the aftermath of everything,
Mhm.
especially being able to hear. You will hear like people that are suffering.
Right.
You will hear like the smoldering of buildings, the weeping of people. You will. It's also like when you don't hear that, it's so quiet.
Right.
It's like deafeningly quiet.
I would
And
assume that it's because the city is, um, it's a warm summer night, so you would hear the echoes of people calling out and wrestling with, loss.
Mhm.
So just to really bring a downer.
Well, last episode was so upbeat.
She holds that spell for the entire 10 minutes to see as much as she possibly can. And when it finishes, all of that water has evaporated from that dish and the pin is just sitting in it. They're going to need help. And I pack up stuff and I go to a different bar and I start listening to everyone who is talking about what ships they're from and what directions they're heading to try to find somebody who's going back that way that I can jump to leave as soon as I can.
For sure. Okay, we'll just use passive perception at this point because you have a pretty high one at this point. So I think perhaps very, very pointedly, you get word of a ship called the Hand of Fate that is headed towards Hillholm and is, just loaded with another merchant ship, but one that's decently armed as well. It seems like this might even be a smuggling operation. So you do hear word that there's a little bit of worry about Imperial blockades here and there, so it's important to leave port soon, as Imperials have been seen about here and there. So as you're kind of walking around the town and you're picking up on all this scuttlebutt, that's one of the things you pick up, that the Hand of Fate is going to be leaving like the next morning. That evening, like they're leaving before sunrise.
Perfect. I will be there. Sooner is better than not. She's kicking herself for not resetting where her ripcord spell goes before she left.
Hindsight.
Yep. She thinks about sending a message, and then is like, they've got enough to deal with. It doesn't help to know that I'm coming. I think after we would leave the next day, after a couple of days, she would cast Sending to, oh man, which of you would she do it to? Just so that way she's on her way, and that way that if you're going to be somewhere else, she can pivot. I would cast Sending to... Fuck yeah, I would cast Sending to Proximus, because I was like, yeah, that just is what makes the most sense. God, I haven't cast a Sending in forever. I know you are dealing with a lot right now, but thought you would like to know I am heading back to see how I might be able to help. If you're going to leave port, let me know where you're going. See you soon.
More or less 25, yeah. Would you like to respond?
Yes. See you soon. I am glad you are coming back to us. Travel safe. That's enough.
Okay. Kallista, the night passes, and before dawn, you are aboard the Hand of Fate, headed back in a direction you did not think you would be heading so quickly, but southeast from where you are, back retracing your soggy steps, and headed back to a group of people you weren't sure you would ever see again. For those people, let's go ahead and cut to when that message is being sent. So, Michael, I know you already kind of described a little bit of what Proximus would be doing, but to back up to that night, you and Winnie have just checked in on Rollin. The town is partially in shambles, the people in a state of just, post-chaos, just some of them exhausted by the trauma they've experienced, some of them past at this point, and some of them trying to hold themselves together to keep this island together, this community together in this moment. What would all of you be up to for the rest of the night?
Acacia would be spending, as I mentioned last time, spending all of her spell slots to heal the worst of the wounds.
Mm-hmm.
And then even going back to old-fashioned first aid for those that she could take care of that don't need magical care. But it's all kind of just done in a shocked stupor for a little bit until it gets too late. It's just too late to do anything else. There's nothing else to do. Not because that there isn't anything to do, but like she's tired mentally, physically, and if she kept going, it just would not be a great idea. So
yeah, there's only so much you can do. Yeah,
both for them and for myself. I would probably after that just kind of grab a blanket from home and go out into the woods and find a clearing and just plop down. Probably don't get any sleep, but
no
isolation time, because yeah, Piper is welcome to join, but if he talks to me, I don't talk back.
Yeah, Piper does just kind of flap up, and his head kind of turns a little bit. You're actually not sure for just a moment if this is another seagull, and he opens his mouth and goes, ah. No, that's not right. And he just comes over and just tucks his feet under him and kind of scoots over to you.
I will scratch his head and just dissociate for a very large portion of the night.
Scarlett.
Do I know about my house?
You can.
I think Winnie mentioned it. She didn't mention the extent.
One way or another, you are going to find out.
Just gonna go to my ship.
Yeah. Yeah, Marcus has his eye patched, and he looks to you and he says, so I suppose we're not heading home tonight then.
Not to that home. Oh,
Well,
we technically have two.
Well, it is our wedding, and so forgive me for being corny, but I've only had one, and that's you, so let's go somewhere together. Winnie.
Disassociating sounds pretty good to Winnie right now. I think
We all are in our own way.
Yeah. She's gonna probably do something similar to Acacia, but probably in a different area. And I think little Jeffrey will... I don't think we have a lot of, like, kids on the island. It seems weird, but it also seems weird that by now we wouldn't have some sort of families, right?
I don't often bring them up, especially in points of danger, but there are kids on the island.
Yeah, well, I figured they were probably, like, you know, children to safety first and all that. Special privileges or whatever. So little Jeffrey, I think I'm gonna send over to like entertain and distract them, especially like if they have injured loved ones. And yeah, putting out fires, helping stabilize the injured. And I mean, I left Rollins pretty exhausted as it was, so after I hit kind of my full exhaustion point, I'm either gonna gather B and head back home or meet her there and try and get my 4 hours in, and then get back to it in the morning.
Okay. Two things will happen before the night ends. Proximus, you described that you're going to check in on Dominera, kind of just check around the town, and then head home. Is that correct?
No, I would, well, yes. And then, but I would go to, set up whatever ship crew we could, back onto the ship. And then, I think I would meet with Connery and see how he is doing.
Okay.
Before I go back to the ship.
Okay.
And then yes, pass out.
Okay.
Working with the ship. I feel like he would process this by doing things. He must keep busy, or else he'll start thinking about things too much.
Okay. You go to check in on Connery. He did, as I described yesterday, he had some pretty severe injuries. But he is doing better than a lot of other people. And you find him, he's sitting on a small, like, half wall of stone and just kind of putting pressure on his wounds. And he looks up at you and goes, "Well, you didn't lose the other eye. Suppose that's a win."
That is a win. Did you lose anything? And he starts like checking, making sure that.
Just a few friends.
Mm.
Nothing I can't replace. should have seen this coming.
We were preoccupied, and I don't think that this will happen again. But they will be back.
Then we'll have to be ready for them then. You've got all those holy healing powders and whatnot. Don't you mind me, none. I've healed from a lot worse than this. Go find somebody else to poke your blue nose into.
Is there something wrong with my nose?
I feel like you've brought that up before, but I mean, I would like some space, please.
Understandable. I'm going to go
Constance
back.
has told me to set my boundaries in a healthy way.
You're doing a very good job.
I don't need your validation.
You say that. Okay, I am going to go back to the ship and recover as much as we can and hope for tomorrow's pass. I think we will set up a watch. So if you do make it back to the ship, let me know, and we can keep watch, making sure that the island is safe.
I'll handle that. I'll have Sammy on it. He was in the back with a broken wing anyway.
Okay.
Go on. Tend to someone else.
Aye, Captain.
So you're heading to the ship?
Yes.
Okay. Along the way, as you're walking through the town, you are going through the town square, and it is just deserted at this point. Tables are overturned, cobblestone is broken on the ground, buildings have toppled over on their sides, or at least one of the major ones has, and it is incredibly quiet until you hear a voice shouting from the side of the building, and it's going, "Help! Help!"
I will go over there.
You see that there is a hand reaching out from some of the rubble from beneath it.
Can I check it out with my eye?
Yeah.
To see who's down there?
What are you looking for with your eye?
Just to see who's down there. I'll start pulling out the rubble, but...
Yeah, you don't recognize them at first. I don't know that necessarily, like, seeing into the ethereal plane, you can see, like, the features of somebody.
Mhm.
I can't remember exactly what your eye can see, but at least if you can see slightly
It's like
through
true
some
sight.
material. Yeah, it's a humanoid figure that's down there.
Okay. Do you want me to do a strength check? Or...
Yeah, go ahead and do a strength check. We'd call it athletics if you're lifting stuff.
Oh, yeah. I'm proficient in that. 22?
Great. You're able to lift quite a bit of the rubble over your head, and as you do, this person is revealed from beneath. You were like, you have the rubble over the top of your head, kind of angling it up using that leverage. As you're holding it there, that hand jolts out and grabs you right by the chin and kind of squeezes your cheeks, and in like a flash, a face is right in front of yours, these blazing red eyes, and it is the face of Paimon, these wrapped horns around the back of his head. And he has this like sulfurous breath that's right in your face, these fanged teeth, and he goes, "Oh, hello. Didn't think you'd see me again."
I really did not think I would see you again. Especially right now. This is the West time.
Well, I just thought I'd be a little wedding gift. After all, this is all your fault.
This is... I drop whatever rubble.
And it just cracks over top of him.
Right. Yeah, like, it's not... This is all a facade. I get it. I understand. Please, walk and talk with me and tell me exactly what I did wrong to make this happen.
He like presses his fingertips together and just goes, "You're being weirdly reasonable about this. I can
Well,
respect
there's
that."
nothing that I can do to change your mind, apparently. So let us walk and
Well,
you can
not
explain
for
this to me.
lack of trying, isn't that right?
We all do what we must, all right?
Was that something you needed to do, Proxy?
Well, I
It
don't
was a
like when you.
strange
It's
choice.
Proximus to you. Let's keep this very clear. This is some type of arrangement that would be professional, not personal. I
But
don't want.
you
I did
made
not
it
want you.
personal.
Ah, there's a lot of things that you can take personal. It's only perspective. But this is what I did not want. I didn't want you coming back to bother Scarlett or anyone else. But to say that this is because you maybe forgot? Oh, okay. I will take that. But these innocents do not deserve this. You do what you want to me, but not to them.
I think you're under some sort of misunderstanding.
Okay.
I didn't do any of this. Let's play out the timeline here. I hired you to do something. You did it. Then in my own home, once I had regained my station, you tried to erase my memory so that I wouldn't sell some things with your friend's consent. And yes, you did erase my memory. For a time. You should know that time is different between the two of us, and I have had quite a long time to recover and plan. I had made a deal with your friend Scarlett that something would go wrong at her wedding. I was going to make it something minor. But then you were rude. And so I sent an invitation. I figured you would want to have some of the people that were so important in your life. Not necessarily for good reasons, but an invitation nonetheless, and I'm glad that they received it. And I want you to know that that invitation was sent because of what you did. That everything that happened here was because of what you did. And I want you to carry that with you. And I want you to know that you can come back to my home, you can try to kill me, but it will never erase, it will never make up for everything that happened this night. So, we can call that business, not personal. I'm fine with that.
Well, I don't like you. Actually, I don't necessarily want to go back to hell. But if I must, and by the blood of these innocents, I am going to kill you. But that's okay. I will take my time. It is a
You know
promise.
where to find me.
I do. I do.
Also, personally, as a GM, I'm really excited because now I get to use disassociation for or dis appointment for titles now. So
Dis is bullshit.
yeah, the fuck is dis? He holds out his arms out to the side. In my head, he's just Loki, and he snaps his fingers, and in a poof of brimstone is gone.
I feel like at this point, Proximus has absolutely no spell slots left. So, yeah. But, yeah. Frack that guy.
Okay.
I
That's a good
will.
place. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, I will actually. I was kind of contemplating this. I will shell phone everyone and let them know about Paimon, the poop face.
Michael, please. We're 18 and up, but come on.
Do you tell us about Kallista
I
too?
couldn't think of anything that started with P. What's that?
Do you tell us about Kallista too?
He
No.
does have a lot going on.
True.
No, I don't actually.
Cool.
Yeah.
We'll get around to that one.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Acacia's goes right to voicemail. She doesn't have her phone on her. Fuck that shit.
Scarlett wouldn't either.
Is it?
The person you've dialed cannot be reached at this time.
Is it just Winnie?
Is
yeah.
swearing in probably
It's like 2 rings, and then
Like-
you hit.
yeah. It's
You screen
You
it.
hit the fuck you, fuck you button.
I think if you hit her in the middle of trancing, it'd be like she answers in like Aquan or something, and it sounds like swearing. It probably is. I'm pretty sure you speak it too, but yeah.
Yeah.
For the audience, I'm just explaining. Is this a now problem, or like, can I go back to sleep and pretend it didn't happen for 2.5 more hours?
Right. Yes.
Okay.
Sorry to bother you. Click. Like he's just like yeah, done. Yeah, you're right. It's late.
It's late. We're all traumatized.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look over at B and just not even disturb her. Like,
No.
no.
She just kind of in her sleep, she just goes, why is that seahorse so big?
I love her so much.
That is probably a good place for us to take our break. When we come back, we'll have one more thing for this night, and then we'll pick up the next morning, and then probably do our month before Kallista will arrive. So stick around. We'll be back in about 10-ish minutes. Enjoy our ad reel. Please support please purchase from any of our number of wonderful affiliates. Please use our discount codes. If you do, please consider tipping and / supporting this cast and crew with anything that you are generous and able enough to tip at pally.gg. And yeah, stick around. We'll be back. Vast and welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Horizon's Call. Let's jump back into things. So, let's see. The night prior, or the night that we're still on, rather, Proximus has been visited by Paimon. Acacia has essentially passed out from exhaustion, not mechanical exhaustion, but like tiredness nonetheless. Acacia, as you are like sleeping, why don't you give me a wisdom saving throw with disadvantage, please?
Oh, great. Which dice are going to betray me tonight? I got a 9.
Okay. Let's come back to that. But I'm going to say that your dreams are uncomfortable ones. You are someone who I believe has described your character as having some claustrophobia, and your dreams are plagued by feelings of like tightness and cramped spaces and not being able to move. And we'll jump back to that. The next day arrives. The sun rises as it always does on Phoenix Landing, on a different version of Phoenix Landing today, a much more solemn one. Proximus, as you wake up in the morning, you find you slept on the ship, right?
Yeah, in the crow's nest.
Yeah. Oh, in the crow's nest, sure. As you descend downwards, you would note something just out of the ordinary on the mast. A piece of parchment is kind of flapping like lightly in the wind. It's been stuck to the mast with a knife in it. And we're going to cut over to pre-recorded something for what that message is. And I will read it to you if you don't want to listen to that. But yeah.
Are you playing it?
Well, apologies, gang, that Des and I had to run so quickly. Duty and the Morrigan call. But farewell's not really my style anyway. Acacia and Winnie, thank you so much. That was one hell of a party. We both had a delightful time. Scarlett, I'm so very happy for you and Marcus. 'Tis a rare thing in this world to find someone who both understands and accepts you. Treasure that. I will say, I think I've changed my mind about retiring on this island. Too much trouble finds you lot, and I prefer trouble that I seek out myself. One last thing. When Proximus and I were catching up, he mentioned some bird you met in the hills. You'll have to introduce me next time. She sounds lovely. Don't be strangers, and if you're ever in over your heads, don't forget you have a friend in the Harbingers. Fia of the Rowan.
Fantastic. So special thank you to LD for guesting when bringing her Harvey's character, originally a Rise of Skull character, Fia, to the game. That she was lovely enough to pre-record that. So if none of you caught that, that was apologies, gang. That Des and I had to run so quickly. Duty and the Morrigan call, but farewells aren't really my style anyway. Acacia and Winnie, thank you. That was one hell of a party. We had a delightful time. Scarlett, I'm very happy for you and Marcus. It's a rare thing in this world to find someone who both understands and accepts you. Treasure that. I will say I think I've changed my mind about retiring on this island. Too much trouble finds you lot, and I prefer trouble that I seek out myself. One last thing. When Proximus and I were catching up, you mentioned some bird you met in the hills. You'll have to introduce me next time. She sounds lovely. Don't be strangers, and if you're ever in over your heads, don't forget you have a friend in the Harbingers. Fia of the Roan. And I'm sure LD did much better job than that.
I love her so much.
Okay. I would like to get to Acacia last, but is there anything any of you would be doing the following day as you awaken, or is everybody sleeping in? What does the next morning look like?
Does my thing interfere with anything I would want to do in the morning?
Yes.
Okay, I will wait. I probably wouldn't be getting up early anyway.
Winnie, when Proximus and Winnie left, 'd- 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 left, 'd like Rollins' next steps?
No, he was pretty beat up. I think he didn't really want you there in the first place, as you were pulling arrows out of him and not really walking away when he asked you to. So he accepted the medical care about as far as you were going to push things, but he did not have any solid plans. He was out of spell slots and energy.
Okay. I think Winnie is going to just make sure she's got her full 4 hours or whatever, and then head into. Assuming he seems like he was gonna survive the night, she'll just head into town and get back to clearing rubble, or I guess she'll make her daily potions, and if there's anyone who needs them.
All right. Proximus, anything else you would want to get up to in the morning?
Oh, Proximus is going to chill the fuck out.
Yeah.
This has been too much, and I might just take a nap under the sea.
Scarlett.
Assess my house damage properly in the sunlight.
You know, the nice thing is you get to add that additional room when you rebuild more than half of it.
Did my wedding gift survive?
That half of the house is fine.
You see
You're
the
not gonna be
wedding
that
gift.
cruel.
You see the wedding gift from Acacia then.
It's a nice open concept now. You get a nice view of it. It's really framed by the rubble. Okay, Acacia. You awaken on the ground, right? That's how we established that center sleep. Your eyes open, and immediately, I think what jolts you awake is the discomfort that you feel. Your muscles are sore, your back is sore, and as you go to stretch, you find yourself unable to do so. You look down and see that about your neck, about your torso, wrapped around your horso as well, as I'm going to call your horse torso, are these interlocking rings of iron, all kind of connected to each other. They all have these very subtle carvings into them that give off a sort of magical vibe, sort of runes. And sitting in front of you, just legs straight out, picking his nails with a knife, is Panveer. And
is my magic cut off?
No, these are iron bands of Billeroo. So
yeah, I think I just couldn't remember if they were also like magic blocking.
I'm going to double check. You're restrained.
Yes.
There's a creature that can touch the bands, including the one restrained, can take no action to make. So you can take an action to make a DC 20 Strength Athletics check to break the iron bands, and on a successful check, the item is destroyed. But it says nothing about cutting off magic.
So I'm assuming that no somatic components, so verbal only.
Yeah, you won't be able to move your hands. So yeah, verbal, and if you can, your hands are at your sides. If you would have any pouches, you'd be able to reach or like have access to, like just barely reach your staff. We could say that would be your what is it? The other component, the material component.
And where's Piper?
Piper is not there. Piper has flown off.
Okay, that's fair.
As far as you can tell, you don't see Piper. He's not next to Panveer.
In that case, I will just, before I open my eyes, there's just, the confusion of like, why can't I fucking move? And as soon as I realize like what I am restrained, I'll just open my eyes, not actually really surprised that it's Panveer, and just like open my eyes and like look at him.
Good morning.
I don't respond. You didn't want to cut my throat while I slept?
I thought about it. I was more confused than anything else. I really just wanted an answer, but I really wanted you to say something. You don't seem to be surprised to see me. I really wanted that satisfaction.
You did say you would be seeing me soon. So no, I'm not surprised.
But you're the one that you asked for me to come. You put a message in the stars, and then you messaged me with some sort of slur. Were you drunk? What? Of course I was going to show up. I just wanted to know why. After everything. Why? And cutting your throat doesn't get that answer, so I used a bit of self-control.
Derek, can I attempt to make that strength check?
Yeah, for sure.
It's an athletics check, right? You said?
It is, yes. Yeah, strength athletics, if you have athletics proficiency, for sure.
I am... Why do I have a +7? Hold on. I'm
Big horse.
like, I'm a big horse, but where is the extra +2? Oh, that's why. It's the belt.
That's right, you got your giant belt.
Ooh, I got a 9. What's a 9 + 7?
16. So not a 20.
So let me just do my... So I have my my star thing that gives me, wheel or woe. So I rolled evens today, so that gives me a bonus if I would like to roll a d6 to see if I get that extra +4.
For sure.
I do not.
Okay. So you struggle against the iron bands, and his eyes, like, there's a glint to them, and he, like, a little smile cracks. They're tougher than they look.
One last question, Derek.
Mm-hmm.
The bands.
Mm-hmm.
Does it feel like they would constrict or go... The question is there a small... Is there like a size that they can only go so small, or do I think I can also break out of them if I also get too big?
Yeah, that's a good question, because you do have your wild shape. This is going to be... Throw huge, smaller, severe moves. Go ahead and make me an Arcana check. This is not going to be in the rules itself, but I think I'm going to make a judgment based on how I'm interpreting this.
I got a 12 Arcana.
Okay. I'm going to say with a 12, and you have enough experience, like, as an Evewalker, that the iron bands are like a very useful tool. It's a great thing for I'm trying to get away from the town guards, throw one of those and suddenly they're not after me anymore. And they're not super uncommon. They're not like, dime a dozen, but I would say that at one point they definitely came through Father's Finds at one point, and Darius held one up. He goes, "Do not play with this. I don't know the word to get you out of it. I'm serious. I know it looks like a toy. It's not." And he, like, locks it in the case. So I'm going to say with that...
Which I absolutely tried to pick before getting caught.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. You're like, this could be so great. I'm gonna get that little kobold man with it.
Go step. Sorry.
I would say that you would be able to reason that if you get bigger, those bands are going to compress and potentially injure you pretty severely. If you get smaller, they're going to compress. Like, they're magical in the sense that they're, like, even as you shift your weight a little bit, you can feel them tightening to where, like, any empty space, they tighten a little bit. It's like when your seatbelt tightens, right?
Yeah,
and you just, like,
yeah.
It locks in place and it gets tighter and tighter until you can release it. And you don't know the command to release it. So it's only getting tighter as you struggle against it.
Yep, that's fair. That's absolutely fair. Can you please repeat what Panveer said for Mare?
He just said that the bands are stronger than they look.
Yeah, I quite remember.
So, are you going to tell me why you spent all this time trying to get me here?
It wasn't me trying to get you here. It was an open invitation.
Well, I RSVP'd. I should describe Panvir is a halfling male, brown hair, I believe green eyes, freckles.
One green eye.
One green eye. That's correct. He is missing an eye. Thank you so much. There's a lot of that going around.
There really is. When did
yeah,
this
well,
become like the new trend?
I don't know, it's a pirate thing. You can see past the eye patch that there is a scar left from your blade, and he is. Last time we saw him, he was pretty roughed up, dirty. He'd been in an outside cell for a few days. He had been on the run even before that. He looks cleaned up. His hair is slicked back. He is wearing pretty decently quality leather armor. And you can see that on his lapel, kind of holding it together, is a fish hook. Yeah. And he has, he looks like an assassin. He looks very typical assassin. He's got a number of knives on him. He's got a short sword at his hip. There's a crossbow sitting next to him. He's decked out.
You certainly look much better than when you did drunk at the bar on Candletide.
So you've been checking in on me. Have you missed me, Acacia? Because last time you hit pretty close. You didn't miss that time, did you?
She doesn't answer his question on whether she missed him or not.
Listen, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to just put it out there. I just want some answers. And I don't need them. But I want to give you these few moments left on this material plane to just close things out.
If we're going to close things out, maybe you can answer the question you refused to answer when I last saw you.
Sure. Question for question, then. You'll have to remind me. What did you want to know?
How long have we known each other again? This is not the question. This is rhetorical. What? Since we were 8?
Just nods a little bit.
Since then, up until you stole from me, was our friendship a lie? You avoided the question very thoroughly when I asked you in the cave under the keep in Korra.
I don't know. Maybe that's why I didn't answer. I also just wanted to hurt you at the time. I'll be honest about that. I don't know what a friend is, Acacia. I've had fun with you. I valued your life for a time. I did not want to see you die. That's changed. I didn't want you to be hurt or sick. But I also didn't have any compulsions about stepping over you to get what I wanted. And I don't know if that's what a friend is. I also don't know that I know what the truth is, Acacia. I've lived my whole life based off of lies and being taught to lie better. And this is a weird feeling, being this upfront and honest with you. But I can be honest with the dead, can't I? It's not like you are going to tell anybody. I liked you, Acacia. You were... Well, I don't know if you were family. I didn't have one of those. But I think you were close to that. Except I wasn't. You got the parents and the home and all the nice things. And this isn't about that.
Really?
No, it's not. It's not about that you had more and I did not. It's the fact that when I went to take something, when I went to take a step up, you couldn't accept that.
You're going to have to enlighten me on that because I do not know what you're talking about.
When I took your fucking necklace, Acacia, it was a bauble. It was special to you, sure, but it was worth more to me. It meant that I got to improve my life, and your life would stay the same. So, yes, I betrayed the Evewalkers. I betrayed you, but wouldn't a friend want the other to be happy?
A friend also wouldn't screw a friend over and take something very clearly important to them.
You're right.
So it's what? Greed?
Is it greedy to just want to be moderately successful? Is it greedy to want to not have to beg and scrap all your life? Is that greed?
Last time I checked, you were not begging and scrapping. You had a lot of assignments. You were doing very well in the Evewalkers, which is why I was surprised when you went to hop, skip, and jump over to the Hooks.
Their upward mobility is a little bit, well, it's a bit swifter than the Evewalkers, who expect so much out of you. And I've been very successful over there. And I think my talents are more appreciated. I was never good as a thief, but I seem to be half decent at murder. Sorry, assassinations. It's for political reasons. There's a difference.
Killing is killing. But if you want to be technical, this one's technically murder. And I motion my head down to myself.
Oh, I'm going to give you a fighting chance. It's the least I can do for a friend.
Did you have any other questions?
Just my main question, why you wanted me here so badly? You had to know that this was what I would do. You had to know that I still wanted to hurt you, to kill you, even. So were you just... Is this a trap that I have so blazingly fallen into? Is this... What is this?
Would you believe me if I told you that there was just one little bit deep down that just hoped that this could be resolved?
What would your resolution be, Acacia? How did you think this was going to go? In perfect world, pie in the sky, you thought we'd apologize and make nice and go frolicking through your little paradise island?
You know very well, as much as I do, that neither of the islands have been paradise. Whether you like it or not, Cora was still where you grew up. And you saw what the Nereans did.
It's True. I'll be honest that I've enjoyed killing them a bit more than some of the other assignments I've been on.
I will thank you for that.
Just business. You still haven't answered. What do you think? What did you think was going to happen?
I knew you were going to probably kill me.
Such a pessimist. Not even the operative word try involved there, that it would just...
You said yourself you're an assassin. Assassins don't give honest chances.
It's an exception to every rule.
I don't know what I was expecting. Why won't you just slit my throat here and there? Why are you giving me a chance?
This I would like to be a persuasion roll. I think that's...
Or insight or persuasion?
Well, insight would get you, like, to read...
to read it, yeah.
Yeah, there's something that he's going to try to hold back here, but based on how this conversation is going, to get him to give an honest answer, you haven't said anything that's overly persuasive, but the overall conversation has been persuasive.
I'm just going to use my crit that I have.
Cool. Yeah. He looks down and then looks up and catches your eyes, and you look into, like, the one eye that's left, the scar that you left behind. I think there's part of me that was hoping that I would lose, and that you would just finish the job, and I wouldn't have to sit here every day and worry about where you've been and what you've been doing and whether your life has gotten even happier and that you've been making friends and growing. And when I came to this island, I knew that a chapter in my life would end, and I didn't know if that chapter would be the last one or just another in a long string to come, but I was willing to take the chance, knowing that I wanted you to have a chance. If you kill me, Acacia, that's it. I'm not coming back. No deals to be made, no bargains, nothing along those lines. I will be gone, and maybe then we can both move on to something else. Either way this goes, we can move on to something else.
What do you want to move on to?
I either want you to be gone, where I don't have to think about you anymore, or I want to be gone, where I don't think about you anymore. Two paths to the same solution.
Can I try and make another strength check to get out?
Absolutely.
You said it was athletics check, right?
Yes.
I'm going to use an advantage. Come on. Nope. I'm having some real hard time. So I think Acacia just struggles again.
Okay.
And then just lets out a reluctant sigh at what he's been saying. Well, you better kill me then. Because I'm not going to kill you. I didn't want to kill you back on Soteria and Cora, and I don't want to kill you now. But then I was angry. Especially because you did betray me, and I did not understand why. I still do not understand why, other than the fact that it's either jealousy or tangentially related to jealousy. whatever you want to call it or describe it. But I have never wanted to kill you and remove you from my life. So if you want to give me a chance or not, I'm not going to raise a weapon against you.
He goes to stand up from the sitting position, and he clips the crossbow to his belt, and he draws his short sword, and he comes walking over to you.
Don't forget I have 2 hearts.
If you don't fight me, you're going to die.
I know. But I'm not gonna raise a weapon against you. We'll see if I die. You gonna let me go or not? Or are you just gonna do it in cold blood?
He looks down and at the bands around you, and he whispers, "Caliban," and they all separate off and kind of recompress into this little, like, tight coiled ball of bands that just clinks softly onto the ground.
Are those yours from the old days? Or is that a new password?
I made it.
Interesting password for someone who has closed a chapter of their life. And I'll, horse clamber to my feet, picking up my staff and just like resting it on the ground as I look down at him.
Acacia, give me another persuasion check, as you've been basically saying, you can strike me down, but I'll become more powerful than you can possibly imagine. This is your Obi-Wan moment. Yeah, go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
I don't have a good persuasion roll. Oh, I got a dirty 20. Hell yeah.
Okay. I'm going to give a roll to him. There we go. Okay. Panveer takes a few steps back and kind of, flips his sword around in his hand. And you can see his grip tightening on it. And he looks you up and down. He looks behind you. He looks all around. He's waiting for something else to happen. This clearly has to be a trap.
As he's looking around, if you do hear the flapping of the seagull, don't be concerned. Was there a seagull when you got here?
He flew off when I threw the bands at you. I'm honestly surprised you didn't wake up to that, but you must have been very tired.
Yeah, being attacked by Nereians and nightmare beasts does that to you.
I was wondering what those things were. I only heard them from below decks. Didn't get a good look at them myself before I hopped off. Well, anything else you want to say? Any final words?
It's never too late to start a new chapter and rewrite your story, Panveer.
At this point, give me an insight check.
Insight, you said?
Please.
19? Wait, no, 21.
Okay. At that point, you see the green eye like breaks. There's like tears welling up, and you see like that glisten. And he draws back the short sword and goes running towards you, essentially taking a cunning action dash. And that blade reaches your throat, that leaf-shaped blade that you can see the sheen of poison on, reaches the tendons at your throat, and just before it's able to break contact, you can feel it pressing against your skin, but not fully piercing through.
Wait. Can
Yeah,
he reach?
he has jumped up to do that. He is actually like, he has grabbed onto your...
Okay, my armor.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's grabbed on that, and you can feel the knife. So he is like face to face with you. The sword is right there. Little halfling feet pressed against your stomach.
Okay.
But he is also fully crying at this point. And the blade drops, and he just pulls your armor closer, and he wraps his arms around you, and he is just absolutely bawling at this point.
I think at that point, the one arm that's not holding my staff just wraps around him and just like holds him there. Like, she's not bawling, she's not shaking, but it's just that at any point those tears can fall, but it's just holding him close.
Yeah, it's sad adrenaline, absolutely. Yeah, where you're just like so overwhelmed in that moment.
And in his like ear, I'm just gonna be like, "You're a fucking idiot."
He does not say anything through his tears. Okay. Let's cut away now, as we're going to do a bit of a time skip. So the days pass. We'll talk about what Acacia and Panveer and how everybody else is going to react to Panveer. We'll kind of go. But as the days go forward and you're hitting that second month mark, which Proximus would know that is getting pretty close to Kallista arriving back by ship. As far as you've estimated, that would be right around a month past. So this is also almost a month past from the attack. What would you all have done in that time? I just want to remind you that Scarlett's house got destroyed, not blown up, part of it. That ship had been scuttled, essentially, and like broken open, so there might be some stuff there. The main portion of the tavern had been destroyed in the town square. The town square had been roughed up a little bit, and then there's injuries about as well. So, with that in mind, what would you all be up to?
Witty wants to check out the ship.
Okay, so we can say that's like next day activities, right?
Yeah, I mean, as long as there's, not a life she can save. If people are going to survive, then she's going to go check out the ship.
Yeah. Would you go ahead and give me investigation as you
go to
investigate?
I'm going to investigate the heck out of this ship. Or, hear me out, I'm going to use a reroll. I'm going to try that again. Oh, I can use Flash of Genius on myself. Okay, I'm going to make that a 14. But that was 14. Rough. That was...
Okay.
Look, it's been a hard time,
Winnie, as you are looking around the ship, in the light of day, you can see the monstrous footprints. You can see the 3 sets of them that were leaving the broken open stern of the ship. Because the stern has been essentially shattered open, you see a bunch of wooden planks all about. The sails still seem intact. The ship actually seems half decent. However, you can see that it was probably manned by the soldiers that attacked Rollins Keep. You do with a roll that low, but I'll tell you when I missed the halfling footprints that were walking away from the ship. So you're not fully aware of Panveer just yet. You can see that the ship was named the Marlin, and you can find the captain's log, which details that they sailed out of Validus and sailed away from the Arcanium with cargo aboard. It gives pretty diligent notes. You do find, as you're investigating like the area where the monsters were being held, you do find a note that has been nailed to the hull. And there's like scratches all over the inside of the ship. You can find like maybe some dried saliva. But you also know that the monsters essentially evaporated when they died. But you do find that note, and it is addressed to any survivors.
Yeah, I'm gonna read it.
This note says, "Congratulations, you survived." It is from Mercy, and it details that the monsters, the nightmare beasts, as she puts in quotations, are a friendly little experiment from the Empire, a subtle message that she hopes gets across. Um, oh, she also notes that she appreciates the invitation to Scarlett's wedding. She hopes that this event will be unforgettable, and she looks forward to seeing Scarlett again at the next meeting of the Pirate Court as a fellow pirate queen.
What bitch?
And you flip it over and it says, "No, you're a bitch."
Dang it! She got me.
Flip it over again, it says, "Got him."
Dang it!
It's a 3-sided paper. What's happening?
I am gonna pocket the log and the note and assess its viability for if we can either get it to float again or just use it for scrap, like parts.
It would take some severe repairs, but this is an Imperial brigantine. I think that's what the ship's called. One of the heftier kind of like large cargo hold area kind of ships, and it doesn't have any guns or anything on it.
Sure.
It definitely seems like it was meant for transportation primarily, and for leaving it here. But yeah, if you
We're
put
gonna
some
need to
time
get air
into it.
fresheners in that hold, I bet.
Oh yeah, it's rough. It's real rough.
Take Brindle Kane's captain quarters and like times it by probably like 13.
He had a
And he
glandular
farted
condition.
a lot.
Okay. Winnie's recommendation is going to be that we try and stop more damage from happening to it, fix Phoenix Landing, and then try and get it floating again. By we, I mean our ship rates. Winnie's not doing that. Let's be real. And can she specifically check the captain's quarters for like secret areas? She just assumes maybe it's a Scarlett thing, but like she just sort of assumes that like that's something captain's quarters probably should have if they don't already have them.
What secrets does Scarlett have?
Bitch, please. Are you kidding
A
me
lot,
right now?
a lot.
To be fair, not really.
To be fair, they're like
what about that deck?
They're like mental secrets.
What about that deck
the
of many,
deck.
many things?
That is
Paimon.
keeping
Scarlett's
everybody
captain's
else
hold is her
safe.
brain.
Paimon.
Yeah.
You all know about the deals with Paimon.
We do now.
We were a little busy when they happened.
I mean, there might be nothing, but yeah.
Yeah, you can give me an investigation check.
Winnie finds lots of secret. Like she found that secret dwarven liquor stash. That was pretty good. 22.
Okay. 22. What I will give you is you inspect the whole ship. You can see that there were sleeping quarters for the captain. You do find like the officers' cabins. The officers' cabins are like there's no bedding in there. They're empty. You can see that like the sailors' quarters are very tidy, and everything's been stripped. This ship has had everything taken from it. Like even the captain's bed is very bare bones. Again, this ship was meant to be left, and the Empire was going to not waste a damn thing. So you do find that there are secret compartments in the captain's quarters, which you maybe could
Okay.
assume that if Nerian ships are all uniform, that the secret compartments will be the same. There is nothing in them. There were.
Winnie makes a note
There-
in her like secret notebook. It's not secret. She uses it all the time. But her
Just the top of the page is Nerian secret holes.
yes. Yeah.
Nerian or far?
She's gonna add that to the ship information she got from Red Tide Rock, because she did a lot of ship exploring down there too.
She did.
Cool.
Yeah, there used to be weapons. You can see weapon racks. Everything was taken off the ship. There's a little bit of food still in the galley, but yeah.
Okay. As she leaves, Winnie's gonna write in chalk. Winnie was here. Probably on the topmost door.
Little Jeffrey asks for the chalk. He puts up a little metal hand for it,
I'll hand it to him.
and he writes.
Wait! Don't
and-
eat it. You're not gonna eat it, are you?
Sorry, I need to get him on camera. There he is. He shakes his head no.
Okay. Now I'm gonna hand it to him.
He writes in scrawled, holding the chalk like that. He writes "and Jeffrey" and then the number 2.
Good job.
And
And my-
Jeffrey 2.
Handout for the chalk bag.
He eats it.
Dang it. Okay.
Okay.
And then I'll probably report, check in with the shipbuilders,
Mhm.
just what they're doing. But that's going to be a
Dealing with
group
their trauma.
conversation. Okay. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
trauma.
This is the
Right.
this is literally the next day.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, what are you guys up to?
Okay, yeah,
They're
we'll
just
sleep
sitting
on
there
that
rocking.
for a little bit. Winnie will save that conversation for after maybe we've had a group meeting. It's not really pressing, but I do want it.
Is there anything else anybody want to do the next day or in the next 30-ish days?
Council meeting.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, surviving council members.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, who else? Anybody else of note that died
That
besides Mama Maddie?
If Valerie
double
goes,
check
Edgar
on
goes
your-
with her, so keep that in mind.
Council.
He's not gonna kill off one of your characters without permission.
Don't give me that out.
Eva.
Don't give me that out.
I was like, it's Derek.
I
I
wanna.
know.
If you want to make you all cry, I can kill off Edgar. Beloved
No,
fan
animals
favorite
have
Edgar?
You literally can't,
immunity.
actually.
I literally can't. Yeah,
He's a familiar,
Ugh.
technically.
he's load bearing.
He is. He's taking this whole world with him.
Yeah, it's our last session. Oh no. Oh, that's the wrong. That's the Humblewood Council. That's not going to be helpful. I'm
No.
trying to remember who all was on.
The council is in my chat pinned if you want a quick reference.
Thank you so much. That would be very helpful. While I'm looking that up, I'm going to say Brenna made it.
My dad's made it.
Yeah, your dad's made it. Let's see who else I have here.
It is Darius, Curio, Brenna Sprinklet, Jetsam Copperworth, Laurel Delfor, Kylene,
Kailin, yep.
Mama Maddie,
Mama Maddie, Barca, and Gustip. I'm not going to do this to Michael, so I think that Gustip makes it. Barca makes
sleeping
it.
off the wedding celebrations somewhere.
Oh my god. He was
He didn't
Yeah.
even know what was going on.
Hey
yeah.
guys, it was a
No
really cool
clue.
party, right?
So what did I miss?
People died.
What is going on around here?
I can just see everything crossing Jen's face right now. I'm like, what?
What really got me is whatever. I do not know who this character is. Derek's voice was dangerously close to a Homestar Runner thing. It's immediately what
It's
that tickled in my
actually
brain.
worse. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
good.
It's I believe for Michael, it's a Watto reference.
Yes.
Oh
Phantom
no.
Yeah,
Remember, if you want to know who Gustip is, you can go watch my prequel.
yeah.
Jedi
I'm getting
mind
there.
tricks don't work on me.
I've made a lot of progress.
Yeah. Yeah, prequels. We can put that on
She's
the back
already on
burner.
season 2.
Eddie.
Yeah. I'm on the second to last
Need
one.
of any?
I'm on the second to last one of season 2 right now. So I'm
gosh.
chugging.
I'm going to say that Mama Maddie and Jetsam both did not survive the attack. In
No, the
addition to
one who
another
helped
of
us
other-
with our contract died?
Yeah.
Oh, Jensen. Do me a favor, cross those off in my pin messages. Because that's your message.
Yeah, before the Empire, he had a fleet of fishing vessels to bring food to the city. During the Diaspora, he repaired ships and kept morale high. He was chosen for his steadfastness and sternness.
That was Jetsam.
That was
Yeah.
Jetsam. So the council is down 2 people. You essentially have the town elder and your essentially your supply person, and one of your more shrewd individuals. So, as you gather, Gustip, Barca, Kylene, Laurel, Brenna, and Acacia's dads, they set up a few tables in the town square. There's like, there's noise about, but there's no real better place to meet at this point. As like construction is happening, like they have this circular table, chairs around it. What would you all like to discuss? We'd say Connery's there too. He's kind of a stand-in right now for an extra council member.
Technically, Valerie should be there too, right?
Yes.
Valerie can
Master.
be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's not part of the council though, is she? She's just that's
She is
her
not.
job. Okay.
But I would probably include her in this.
Derek and I did just have this conversation this last week. So I don't feel like it's fair to blame Valerie because we haven't actually talked to her about her job responsibilities. Of like on stream. I kind of thought we had, besides just being like spy master.
You wanted, yeah.
But apparently, some of us were thinking she was spying for someone else.
I'd be pretty upset at her, honestly, with
I
if
feel
she didn't see this one coming.
yeah. So I don't know how you want to play that, Derek. I would like it to not directly be her fault because we.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Yeah. Okay.
It takes time to move spies into place and for messages to travel.
I mean that.
She's probably still setting up, honestly.
That's true. Well, it's been over a year, but yeah, I mean, that's still
Mars
true.
is fucking huge.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
So how are we all doing? That was Winnie. Sorry, I'm not gonna do Valerie's voice for a number of reasons.
Did you call Acacia and Proximus to the meeting?
Yeah, it would have been like a whole town thing. Not a whole
Oh,
town.
yeah, we're
thing,
not gonna
but-
not be there for a council meeting.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Especially
our
after
island.
everything that just happened.
Yeah, we're deed holders, yo.
I will tell y'all that I can't make it. I'm fine, but I can't make it. Explain later.
Not on the shell phone. Winnie will just be like, well, that's weird.
So, obviously, we have encountered one of the island's biggest flaws. We have no means of defense, other than the fact that we are barely on some maps and people don't really know that we're here. I feel like that has gone out the window.
Yeah, we should probably work on that.
So, do we have any ideas on how to work on that? I can man a pirate crew. I can't run a city that I'm not here majority of the time.
No, we need like a little, temporary militia or something. Like, what do you call it? Like an island guard or something, where they just like do stuff a couple weekends a month or whatever, and then go back to their regularly scheduled lives the rest of the time. And also, like, we probably should buy some cannons or something. Or, like, what does Dominaria have? Like a plesiosaur?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No.
Like,
swarm of plesiosaurs.
we should have some underwater defenses, is all I'm saying.
We can bring the sirens on shore and see how they defend Red Tide.
How many
I mean,
live here,
red-
though? Or how many want to live here? I'm squeaking, sorry.
It's not so much how many want to live here, but if they have a means of protecting Red Tide that we can use or at least fit better to our needs.
Good, yes.
Do you think that we can recruit people from Acacia, Winnie?
Yeah, I don't see why not. There's some pretty good mercenary company, there used to be. I don't know if they've been hired out for other reasons with the Empire moving around and stuff, but we could ask. Ooh, I could ask, my friends with the wave hammer. That would be dwarves and an underwater, what is it, a submersible? Is that what it's called? Yeah.
Submarine?
We know that
Soteria.
Go ahead, Derek. Fix it. Fix what I said.
Fix it.
Fix what I said.
Mikyl, I can't fix you. You're perfect.
Proximus is blue screening.
It's
Soteria. The Cora was
Yeah.
the city on Soteria.
they had batteries and defenses off their coast. We do know that. There are ways that we can funnel ships to certain ways. But it is a big ask for a lot of resources from other places to literally give us an army. But I think Dominera and I have a entire group of people that could possibly, if they do want to venture out of the Nalos and help protect this island, but that would be a lot of work. Right now, I
Kill
am.
their god?
Yeah, I am
That's gonna be a
probably
conversation
not
first, I think.
right. But that is the type of resource that we would need for underwater defenses. It is a lot to ask. I don't think the people here are safe.
I do like the idea of reaching out to the Nalos, though. But, like, maybe before we give them your new address, like, kind of feel out the whole, like, are you ready to upend your entire way of life thing?
I am an apostate and I killed their god.
Don't
They are
lead with
not
that,
going
maybe.
to
Yeah.
want to follow me, but
Would they
That-
listen to Dominara?
Yeah. She can do the bullying and you can do the, like, inspirational talk.
right. Good
What's
cop,
up, fam?
bad
It's me,
cop.
the apostate. Bad.
Hey, fam. I know
Like
you
on
don't like
Critical
me,
Island.
but
What's up,
yeah.
dogs? It's me, the one you thought was dead. I'm not, and it gets worse.
But that is, you know, that I do want to free my people from what they believe in and open them to the rest of the world. But
That is very scary and a lot of work. Not
And
that we're
nothing
saying
that's-
that's not worth it.
And nothing that is going to happen quickly either.
Look
But
how
the
long
people-
it took Dalmanara to come over.
Right. The people are not safe right now, and we need to deal with that as an immediate.
If we can borrow forces from Acacia and I can convince the sirens to stay a little bit longer, it gives us something. There are plenty of people at Red Tide. Not everyone came.
Okay, hear me
Right.
out. Hear me out. Proximus. What about your one night stand? Not that one night stand, the more recent one. The dragon one. Like, I feel like having a dragon around, at least for a little while, would be very helpful.
Okay, to be fair, I don't think Winnie knows about that.
Don't we? Man, how are we supposed to razz him about it?
I think that's the point.
Okay, I'll rephrase.
Hey, I saw a dragon flying out of your house the other day.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
Yeah, pulling her shirt on, real weird. So, dragon shirts.
Carried her high heels, yeah.
Winnie
Walk of shame.
slut-shaming Proximus.
There's
This
no
is great.
shame in that walk whatsoever.
Absolutely
though.
not.
It's a
We-
flight of shame.
We slut praise around here.
We
That's
do.
right.
We do.
You bagged a dragon? Cool.
We're high-fiving you on your way to get breakfast.
So, okay, I'm still gonna...
Look out for our next t-shirt. Rising's Call, Bag and Dragons.
Man.
No, sorry, The Hobbit already has that one.
Yeah.
You good, Jen?
I picked a terrible time to think it was safe to take a drink of water.
You fool!
It's never safe.
Never say.
I am still gonna direct this at Proximus because he did talk to her more. But... Okay, so... what, you're gonna take a drink now? You fool.
Nobody's learned anything.
Do you...
No.
do you know, like... Because you got to know that, that nice dragon lady... Shit, do we even know that she's a dragon? We found out, right? Because she flew off.
Okay, that's... I don't know. That's a lot of connecting wires with stuff.
Marcus would be able to do it. He
Okay,
would have called
if
it
we
first
saw a
thing.
Marcus has a
dragon
murder
fly
board
off
that's made like...
and didn't know
Of
it
Of
was
all the
actually
dragons
her,
of Damaris.
That's a problem that we should have addressed earlier. About where did the dragon come from? Okay. I'm gonna scrap that whole line of conversation then. Okay, so we have, I'm writing this down in my special super secret notepad. We have Axian dwarves. We have Axian submarine. We have, sure would be nice if we knew a dragon. Does Marcus know any dragons? Marcus
Not
has to be here. He
ones
never
that
leaves
are
your side.
real.
We have the sirens. We have maybe the Tritons ? After a very long onboarding process.
Curio raises his hand. You have a town council that's been sitting here quietly the whole time?
You haven't spoken up. We've
Feel
done this
free
on our
to-
own.
Feel free to butt in.
Sorry, trying to find a word in edgewise. You all just like to plan?
You interrupt us any other day.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
All right. You know what? We're all going through it. I'm going to let that one slide.
Okay. So what do you have?
Brenna. Go ahead.
I was just saying, what do you have
Okay.
for us?
Okay. Brenna sits up in her chair a little bit. She's a halfling druid who owns Planned Parenthood, the local pet shop. We do have a decent supply of druids on the island, surprisingly enough. And, other folk that can chip in. We could always put in some of our more natural defenses, thorns and briars, or even coral sort of kind of combines into that a little bit. Difficult terrain. Just a thought there. We can summon some animals. Curio puts a hand on her shoulder and goes, "No, you did a good job. We also have an island full of a bunch of former thieves and rapscallions and whatnot, so you know, I mean, we're not totally defenseless. We just like to be armed. So, I kind of like that more than establishing a town guard because it always has a weird sort of hierarchy sort of deal. And I don't want any cops on the island. I'm gonna put it out there, and it weirds me out. But you know, we could just absolutely just set up watches and be better prepared that way. And honestly, like, we can get cannons. If you want cannons, we can order in cannons. And y'all are pirates anyway. You can pirate stuff too. When it comes to resources, there's ships out there you can take stuff off of. Just throwing it out there. And what about your brother up there on the hill? Has he got any plans?
Oh yeah. Yep. He does. He does.
Darius just leans forward. What are his plans?
I don't know if any of us are really gonna like him, but I'm sure he has defensive plans. I kind of thought he was gonna be here today, honestly. But he's also recovering, from some pretty bad wounds. So, you know,
When you hear a voice from over your shoulder, I'm recovered, I'm fine, and he is just like speed walking through the courtyard right now. Sorry, my ears were burning. Yes, I have plans. And he lays down like a bunch of scrolls, blueprints, all these things on the table, and just kind of like starts pushing them out into other people's spaces. He like smashes one into Gustup's face. Read that, and just kind of like rolls them all out. So I have a number of ideas for defenses, but it will cost some gold and probably some time. I do think that mercenaries are probably a fine option from Acacia, but we do have to remember that they are very expensive. And I think ultimately we shall probably want to install some watchtowers, or perhaps even take some of the cannons we have of some of the ships and arm some of the beachside areas. We can also set up some known traps or sandbars in the lower parts of the port to try to make it a little more interesting to move ships in and out if you don't know where to go. And I think it's time that we start using some of the other resources that we have available to us, especially some of the resources that my sister and her group of companions have been acquiring for us, and we can utilize some of that energy in times of need.
Yeah, what would that look like exactly? Because I'm pretty sure, a couple of the options were like super bad.
Well, I thought we could utilize it for an island defense, a shield.
A shield.
Sort of, yes, a sort of bubble that would extend from the highest point of my tower, and with the potential energy we have right now, I could get about as far out as where Scarlett's home used to be. Get most of the port as well.
Let me get this straight. You're proposing we use the rings?
The ones that we have, just some of the energy at this point, yes.
The ones that we agreed that we weren't going to use?
I'm not making a unilateral decision. I am throwing out a suggestion that would not be a permanent shield. It would only be in times of dire need.
It is technically a resource that we should, like, address, even if it is, you know, a terrible idea.
Do we know the
Okay.
consequences, or at least possible consequences, of using these rings?
No, we don't.
So you are saying that we can use the power of the ring without utilizing the entire ring?
Yes, they all have innate power. Put all together, they are something else entirely, but they're batteries of a sort on their own. That's why they've attracted so many powerful entities to them. Power attracts power.
But
If we use them, is it going to attract more?
It already has.
like more than that.
Potentially. I suppose the other alternative is I could try to find some sort of barrier to protect their detection.
Ooh.
I've already placed a number of charms on it to prevent from any type of scrying or any type of magical far-seeing or detection or anything like that.
So you're going to cloak our shields?
Ooh, that's
Also
kind of
do
clever,
cloak.
actually.
I am not against the idea.
I am, unless question.
Okay, I'm sorry my idea wasn't hire a submarine.
Well, no, because I remembered what you said about what else we
Proximus
could do with
laughs at that.
These submarines are neat. They're like the trains of the ocean. Is there...
Sorry, that's our next shirt. I think submarines are neat. They're like the trains of the ocean. My partner, who probably doesn't have autism.
Anyway, hi, I'm still here. Is there like a way we could like do like a safety lock so that it's just a shield and not like a miniature Death Star? That just has a nice ring to it. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I don't know what a Death Star is. It sounds really cool. I might build one of those. The thing is, we could absolutely experiment with it. I don't have all the answers for this one. Not until I am able to do some tests, and this is... I don't have the answers. I'm sorry.
I just want there to be a checks and balance system.
Alright, so who would be checking and balancing then?
Who do you trust? That we can also trust.
No one, and I think that's why I'm the best person for this.
It shouldn't be down to one
I could smack him right now.
I've trusted all of you to gather them, so I suppose
Yes,
I trust
yes.
all of you, and I trust, I suppose, the brilliant minds you've gathered as a council.
God, he's so condescending. I'm not muted, am I? Oh, my bad.
No, it's great.
That was straight up Proximus.
Just Proximus saying it out loud. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, the inside thoughts got out.
I don't foresee all of us leaving the island at one time anytime soon. So if we take turns, we do this with you. We make sure the island itself isn't going to just implode under the rings. We can take multiple avenues.
I'm fine with that. I'm also fine if we want to hold off. I have done what research I can and used what spells I have available to me at this moment, and I do not foresee a next immediate attack. It seems as if their message was sent. I think we have some time. But I also sense that there is something looming. There is something impending. I feel like there's something getting closer.
Everybody keeps saying that, and I don't like it.
It's what the weave is telling me.
That's also what Nibirian's telling me. And someone else. Maybe the Witch Fang?
You're still friends with that strange giant turtle.
Excuse you? Yeah! He's really good at dragon chess. Not because he's a dragon turtle. Anyway, if you need a couple arcane cores or anything to do your testing safer, you could probably have them.
I would appreciate that. Thank you, Winora. We can defend this tower. For the moment, I don't believe we can defend the island. But we can start to take steps. I will use my personal resources to hire some builders from Acacia to build us some watchtowers, a few sentry towers. We can arm them as you see fit, with the approval of your group and the council, of course. I'm really trying not to be doing things all on my own, even though that does get things faster, but it's fine. It's fine. Look over my plans. Change things if you want to be wrong. And let me know when you're ready.
Mums are gonna be so glad you're starting to learn to play well with others. She kind of freezes and like remembers that she's like in like the council. I mean, yes.
Yes, well, a couple centuries is enough to learn social skills, I think.
So Scarlett, you think we're sticking around here for a while?
At least in shifts. We send off one or two of us to go do things that we need to. If we need to go to Acacia, if we need to go here, there. I do not think we should go to the Tritons one person at a time. That sounds like a terrible idea. That one sounds like it takes a little more planning, though.
Yeah.
Maybe we make sure the island is good and taken care of, and that is the next thing we do.
Oh, maybe we can have a new ship by then.
Just here the pockets losing gold.
But it'll make us gold. It's an investment.
I like that way of thinking, yes. Spend money to make money.
When he's gonna do double finger guns at Gusto. Yeah.
Oh, God.
He does double finger guns at you and actually fires off like magic missile, but it just goes wild because he's not targeted. Sorry.
Dispel
Something different
magic.
happens.
You dispel magic so no one gets hurt.
Yeah.
That also means we're gonna need a new ship name, just in case anyone wants to like meditate on that between now and then. Okay. When he's gonna sit down and give a quick TLDR to Acacia via the
Shell phone.
shell phone. Thank you. Yeah.
You get the answer on the shell phone. All of you get the answer on the shell phone. It's a group call because because mostly she just wants to rope in Rollin. I vote yes on defending the island with the rings.
Fuck. You just hear when he like, what the fuck, before cutting off.
Yeah, I would like very much not to have the second island that I've tried to make a home on be completely destroyed and displaced. So I say start making your plans, Rollin. We can get the details later.
When he's gonna hang up her end and turn to whoever's closer, I assume she's sitting somewhat close to Scarlett and Proximus. Hey, I think someone might have taken over Acacia. I'm a little worried about her.
Like she is not acting herself.
No. Did you hear that? She agreed without hesitation to a plan of Rollins. Even if it is for the good of the island. I never thought I'd
Tolerance is a weird thing.
I'm just saying.
What's the deal with Acacia? Yeah, no, I get it.
Last night was a lot, Winnie. Sometimes you have to swallow your own pride and judgment to be able to do things that are better off for the whole.
Yeah.
Do I want to agree with your brother? No. Am I? Yes.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna have maybe like a smaller group conversation about this. While the council also discusses.
Am I letting your brother run free and wild? No.
Okay. You know how to stop him? I'm all ears. Did you see the tower with all those dead bodies?
I also have magic.
Yeah,
It's
me
fine.
too. It's not the same. You didn't see how many people he killed. I mean, with reason. Don't get me wrong. There was reason. Okay.
It is 1 against 5 of us.
if we're here, we're leaving. Like,
Not all
eventually.
of us.
We are, though. Okay, this is not a council conversation.
This
Not
is
while
a
he's
who will
standing
babysit
right here.
Rollin. This is a who will babysit Rollin when we're gone. I don't care if he's standing 5 feet away from me.
I do. Winnie is gonna sit on her hands and not engage anymore.
You know, I think that this is scary. I think we can probably keep an eye on your brother when you're not here. I mean, there's enough of us. We can check in on him from time to time, and I don't mind people being snarky to me.
Babysitter.
Winnie leaves.
I mean,
Wizard
I think-
sitter.
Yeah. Sitting whiz. Nope, don't like that.
That's what Siren used to call him as a toddler. You hear
spell
Winnie say as like she's heading out the door. The door closes behind her.
Well, I need to pull up his stat block and see if he's gonna do anything to you for that.
Dang it! I resisted doing anything to him.
Yeah, that's the last thing you need is a couple of like double century, probably like almost 400 years between the two of you, having a sibling fight in front of like a town council that just had a massive like tragedy.
That's why I resisted.
Okay. I think we're gonna have one more scene, and then we'll wrap up. We will talk about like what the rest of the month looked like, especially with Acacia and Panveer, and what the rest of you would be doing before Kallista gets there. But I do want to at least set the scene for when Kallista does return. So it's a few days out. You're getting closer and closer, maybe even less than a day away. Is there anything that Kallista would do on the ship before she reached Phoenix Landing in this last stretch?
There is something she's been kind of putting off, and knowing that when she gets to Phoenix Landing, she is probably going to be on a path where she is not going to be fully deciding where she's going for a while, and so she kind of needs to deal with this. She's going to find a spot that she can have relative privacy on a ship. It would just find a hidey hole in the hold, something like that, and she's going to sit down, and she's going to grab that little pouch that she had tucked right here, and she pulls out the soul coin that Winnie gave her. And she's holding it, not like a coin, she's like holding it like cupped in her hands like this, and is just kind of looking down at it. This is not one of your better surprises. I'm sorry I didn't do this before. I just didn't know how to. I thought we would go back to New Cavalon, and maybe I could go see Torin, and we could do something then. I had really hoped you were somewhere, that you had found a way to move past us. Maybe I should have tried to find you harder. You know, I hold a grudge. I would love to do something about this, and you know how all of my tricks work. It will be easier to find what happened to you if I can hold you on like this a little bit longer, but it is not up to me. And I'm going to use one of the charges of the soul coin to actually directly ask a question and get a limited answer.
Okay.
And just say, it's like, I can send you home. I'm sure the others are waiting for you. Or if you want to go for one more adventure, I can get us all a little bit of peace. but it is up to you.
Okay. So you can telepathically ask the soul coin a question, or the soul a question, receive a brief telepathic response, which you can understand. The soul knows only what it knew in life, but it must answer you truthfully and to the best of its ability. The answer is no more than a sentence or two and might be cryptic. The answer you get is, forget me, go where you're needed.
I think she just holds it for a little bit. And then she's going to set about doing the ritual that I think she's made sure worked with some other coins to do the remove curse to release him from this coin. And I think right before that finishes, she just goes, give everyone my love, and then lets him go.
Okay. So you're casting remove curse on this.
Yes, whatever. I know we had talked about it being a little bit more complicated, so I'm happy whether that means that is an upcast or whatever. That I've kind of like, I have a supply of coins I've taken from the vault, and I've probably done a couple just to be like, I figured this out, right? So.
Okay. I want to ask you something.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't have cards yet. Here's my green. We're good.
Okay, great. So I just sent you a message. Just want to double check about something.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, I just realized. Okay. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
You go to cast remove curse, and I will need a wisdom saving throw from you.
Oh, good. Okay. It's a 6 on the die, but that does make it a 17.
Okay. With a 17, as the coin is, you're holding it right here. You cast remove curse on it, and you feel that energy, that radiant, that holy energy that you channel as a cleric, channeling into the coin, and you can start to see, like, almost like when rust flecks away from it. These flecks of black with like red outline to them, almost like a black with a neon red around it, start to fleck away, but it starts to burn against you. It starts to get hotter and hotter to the point where you actually have a tough time holding on to it. And just as you're feeling your magic crescendo, that energy crescendo, those flecks begin to collapse back in. They begin to trap themselves, almost creating like another layer of metal around this coin. And a spectral clawed hand reaches out and grips you around the throat, and you are going to take 20 points of psychic damage. And the coin will drop to the ground and will start to like sizzle into the wood of the ship itself. And you get one last telepathic message, no charge needed, and it's just, I said to forget me.
Well, then what do you want me to do, Anders?
I don't want you to fail me again.
You're always such an asshole.
coin stops sizzling. It just sits idly on the wood.
She's just gonna stare at it for a little bit. And she's upset all over again and angry all over again. And it is also confused. If it's confused because like that should have worked and it didn't. And he also seems mad about it, like I fucked up, which kind of tells me that he's not why it didn't work. And she's going to ponder that for a little bit before she eventually picks it up and just kind of mutters under her breath. All right, so you pissed off somebody. Can't wait to figure out what that's about. And I just shove him back in the little pouch, and I still just tuck him right here.
And a short time later, your ship, the Fated Hand, or the Hand of Fate, rather, reaches the port of Phoenix Landing. And in short order, you will be reunited with, again, people that you never thought you'd see again. Confused, angry, perhaps a little betrayed. You'll fit right in. That's where we're going to go ahead and end for tonight. Join us next time as we find out what the month interim looked like and where our group will go from there. Thank you again so much for joining us. I am Derek Sword. I've been your GM for this game. I use he, him pronouns. I have been joined by these very lovely people. And once again, but now for like, for real, not just a guest spot, the very lovely Jenn from Long Duck Dice. So thank you so much for joining us. Jenn, thank you so much for joining us, you in the audience. I'm gonna have these lovely people say more about themselves and where you can find more of them. Highly recommend you do. Then we'll do some channel stuff, including what's coming up next, and then we'll end for the night. Maybe even do a little raid or not. So, Mare, where can we find more of your lovely self?
Hi, I'm Mare. I use they, she pronouns. You can find me on all applicable social media at Archmage of Dice. Right now, I'm just here every Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time playing your lovely horse girl, the truest of the true horse girls here. On Monday, I'm not playing or running the game, but I am running tech for Fragments of Lost, a Rangers of a Broken World system run by Angela Phoenix 24 Femme at 6 p.m. Eastern. And at some point, I'm going to be on Valdrian's channel. I don't know when we're playing yet, but I'm really excited for Avatar: The Last Airbender TTRPG.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Mare. Next up, we have Eva.
Hi, hello. Excuse me, I am Eva. I have been your CL Winnie. And that's it for this week. But next Sunday, I will be returning in our Sunday morning game of Tales from the Loop. We've got a couple more sessions of that. And then, who knows? We'll see what I get up to. Yeah, but we're off tomorrow. And honestly, that's about it. You can find me on BlueSky, but I'm pretty quiet, so I don't know why you would.
Hey, shit, anyway. Next up, we have Mikyl.
Hey fam, I'm Mikyl. You can find me at Mikyl Sandoval, Mikyl, because it's weird. Sandoval, Sandoval, if you will. I just uploaded a whole bunch because I was like a year behind on art, up to the Sword and Key Discord channel, where you can find my art and hang out with a lot of cool people, the people that I love the most, and most of them are right here. So there you go. Yeah, that's it. I am working on some stuff, so yeah. But I am a Sword and Key exclusive and hope to do some Sunday games at one point in time, and hope to run a game for Derek at one point, because he is so good to us for many, many years.
Sure will happen. And yes, thank you, Michael. Special thank you to Michael for the artwork. Again, like you said, check out our Discord. I'll talk about that here in a second. But he did just drop a whole bunch of really, really cool artwork in there, including some really cool Star Wars stuff I'm a really big fan of. So definitely check that out. And yeah, check out his socials, Michael Not the Way You Think, and Sandoval. Next up, we have Kaila.
Hi, hello, I'm Kayla. I've been your Siren Storm Sorcerer Scarlett Shores today, and I am currently a Sword and Key exclusive. You can find me on my socials that are linked in chat. And stay tuned because I will be running a game here shortly next month.
We're gonna have Pride Month going big. We're gonna have some applications out soon, but I'll talk about that
Oh,
here also in a second.
also, I
Yes.
have to pay the tax.
You have
Yeah,
you
you
do have
do.
to pay the tax now.
I have to pay the tax.
There she is. Oh my God, look at that tum.
I love her.
Ooh, BB.
Baby crab cake.
She's
Well,
been
Jen, I'm sorry you
sleeping
have to
all
follow that.
stream. Good luck.
It's okay, I deserved it.
So last but absolutely not least, and our massive congratulations and welcome to our new cast member, Jen. Where can we find more of your lovely self?
Hi, I am Low Zelda in all of the places. I'm also Long Dog Dice. Two separate accounts to do a bunch. Keep the personalities separate. So if you're into one thing or the other, you're good. And when I'm not here, I sometimes stream over on my own channel, usually playing things that don't cause emotions. Usually, unless yelling is an emotion. There's a lot of yelling that happens. So there's that. It is on pause for this week while I take care of some personal stuff, but we'll be back playing our weird murder mysteries eventually.
Awesome. Again, thank you so much to this fantastic cast. If you appreciated what they did even a little bit today, if you liked or even loved what they did, please consider tipping to our Pally. It's pally.gg. I believe it's not a pally.gg/p/sword-and-key-horizons call. So otherwise you can just Google Pally and Horizons Call. It'll come up, or you can also check out our beacons, which I'll mention the full link here. But definitely, if you are generous and able enough to tip at all, it gets evenly distributed. If you do it in the middle of the week, it just gets paid forward to whatever the next game is. So you can give advantages and crits and black spots and all sorts of really cool stuff to spice up our games. So please consider doing so. You can find all of Sword and Key stuff at beacons.ai/Sword and Key. You can find the links to the Pally, as well as some charitable organizations, should you want to donate and get some tax breaks. If you are looking to join our Discord, that link is the second one down. The top one's Twitch. If you're watching us live, you're already there. But please, join our community. Hang out. Be a bud. We'd love to have you around to chat about pets or video games or TTRPG games or, honestly, a whole bunch of stuff. Our Discord's pretty chill, and we have some great folks on there. And we also have some cool events that we do specifically on our Discord. Our Discord's great. It's also where our applications are posted first, and we will have applications out for Pride Month. So if you would like to play in a Pride Month game here on Sword and Key, Discord's the best place to see it first. It'll go on social media second. Our socials are Instagram and BlueSky currently. We're not using Twitter. You can also find links to our affiliates, like Long Dog Dice. The wonderful Jenn makes incredible dice. So if you like any of the stuff you see there, I guarantee you will. You can use code Sword and Key for 10% off your first purchase. If you see something that you want to change just a little bit of, like the color or the whatever, there's also forms that you can fill out that to get a custom set of dice, which I did recently, and it was great. And Jenn has sent me a really cool video of them. I'm super excited for them. We're also affiliates with Eldritch Foundry. They make custom minis. They have some really cool mounts that they've just released, like an armored bear, and I've mentioned the sandworm before, and I think there's a warg as well. They've got some cool stuff, and they're adding stuff all the time. So if you would like to get a custom mini, you can use code Sword and Key for 10% off your first purchase there too. We're also affiliates with Hit Point Press, the makers of Humblewood, and Idolina Una, and Animated Spell Cards, and tons of stuff. They have music licenses, they have VTT stuff, they have minis, they have plush, they have the books themselves, cards, tons of really cool stuff. If you're going to be purchasing anything from them, please consider using our custom link to do so. It helps us out a lot. I already talked about the Pally stuff. Other links are like YouTube, and we'll have the application posted on the beacons as well when it does go live. It's not live just yet. Looking at our calendar, Tomorrow we have, again, as Eva mentioned, Tales from the Loop is not playing tomorrow, but at 3 p.m. Pacific time, we do have the second episode of Thunderbolt Savage, our Marvel Multiverse RPG game, which is in support of Living Arts Detroit. We also have the release of Monster Crush. Monster Crush is a Sword and Key podcast. It's a podcast to do with my friend LD. We talk about different cryptids, creatures, and miscellaneous monsters from myth and how smoochable they are. This will be episode 101, I believe, 102 maybe. But it's really fun. It's our Mother's Day episode, so we're doing a Monster Mummy. So if you want to listen to that mommy energy, you can listen to that wherever podcasts are found once it releases, either tomorrow, maybe Monday, depending on how busy tomorrow gets. On the 12th, that is Monday, as Mara's mentioning, that is the premiere of Fragments of Loss. It is the Heroics Chord game, run by the incredible Angela. That'll be 3 p.m. Pacific time on Mondays going forward. On the 13th, that is Tuesdays, at 7 p.m. Pacific time, we have the return of Gate Night. That is where LD Shadow and I play Baldur's Gate 3, the only video game streamed here currently on Sword and Key. So check that out Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Pacific time. This coming Friday, as I was kind of hinting at before, our Discord has some cool stuff like movie nights. We do movie nights typically every other Friday. It's still AAPI month, so we're doing movies that feature AAPI directors as well as cast, especially Academy acclaim or Academy, yeah, the ones the Academy likes, Oscar ones. We're gonna do this Friday the 16th. We are doing Everything Everywhere All at Once, the 2022 film. And then after that, Horizons Call will be back on the 17th, and every Saturday going forward, we'll let you know if we are taking any weeks off. Again, Discord's a great place for that. Other than that, Tales from the Loop is back on the 18th. We'll take the 25th off, and then we'll have its wrap up on the 1st. We're going to have, again, throughout June, a lot of really cool games, including the one that I'll be running on Sundays, which is Cursed Captains of Cthulhu. And then also in June, just to throw it out there, we have a Sword and Tea scheduled for the 8th with Adam Bell, who is the creator of Uneasy Lies the Head, which is a like court intrigue, backstabbing kind of social RPG, which I think was really cool. So we're going to chat about that here. But in the meantime, we've got lots of other really cool stuff planned. We'll have those applications out here pretty soon, and we'll probably close those out probably within a week. So keep an eye out for those. In the meantime, I think that is probably going to be it for us tonight. So remember, take care of yourselves, take care of others, be kind to yourself, and fair winds and following seas, brave mariners. We'll see you next time.